Broadcasting from Cincinnati, you're listening to the Ringside Reporter podcast. All the news from the world of boxing right here.
Well, I'm talking to you the way I want to talk to you.
Now, here's your host, Eric Lorda.
And we are live. Welcome to the Ringside Reporter Show, where we talk about the latest boxing news. If it's related to boxing, we'll talk about it here. My name is Eric Lorda, and I'm here with my co-host, Joe Habib. We got a great show for you today, and if you want to call and ask questions, 323-870-3857. Let's get it started here. ESPN Plus, Upset City. The upsets continue here, man. Joyce versus Zhang, 12 rounds for Joyce's WBO interim heavyweight title. Again, interim when there's already a champion. Go figure it out, not me. Zhang upset Joyce by a TKO in the 6th round. Zhang started off well, man. He was using his jab, but it was a straight left that kept catching Joyce throughout the fight. He was able to rock Joyce. He was able to get him in trouble. I believe was that the 2nd round where he rocked him?
Yeah, that was.
I thought he was going to go down. Yeah, he was hurt, man. Joyce has got a lot of flaws in his game, and they all seem to just creep up in this fight here. The lack of head movement, the lack of speed, the robotic movement, all of it was evident, man. Joyce took a beating in this fight, man. His right eye was swollen shut. You could see that he couldn't see anything coming. He was getting hit at will out there. And the doctor had talked to him, I believe, in the 5th, and then again in the 6th. Doctor looked at him. He said something to the ref. Ref looked at him. It was almost like he was going to let him go, and the ref just waved it off, man.
I thought he was going to let him go.
I thought he was too, and then he just didn't, man. You look at that eye, man. He can't. There's no possible way he could see anything, you know. It was a big loss for Joyce, put it that way. 37. Joyce is 37?
Yeah, and Zhang is 39, bro.
39. You know, and where can Joyce go from here? I mean, at 37, where are you going?
Well, again, we hate to throw out the baby with the bathwater here.
Oh, I do it all the time.
When your whole essence was how durable you are, how great your chin was. This is a guy that has the bone density of 5 times the normal human being.
Yeah.
He has this exo-adamantium skeleton, basically, that could not be penetrated, damaged, or destroyed, or even dented. But we had Zhang, who had the infinity gauntlet on his left hand that deconstructed that exoskeleton of adamantium proportions of Joyce. You know, here's the thing that was being said, right? A lot of people were saying, well, how did he keep landing that same punch, right? People were saying that Zhang is slow, this and that. I'm going to use a word from a person that I really don't like that much, but Teddy Atlas likes to use the word delivery system. And the reason why
son. Show him some dap.
The reason why that punch was so effective was because of the delivery system. We talked about this before and how people throw punches, and particularly in martial arts, right? When you have that style called Wing Chun, they throw their punches and it comes from the elbow. So the elbow is actually moving first and then the shoulder comes behind it, where traditionally the shoulder comes first and then the elbow comes behind it. When you have a guy who's throwing a punch and he's just shooting it like this from the elbow, it's such a short, abbreviated motion. And you could still thrust your hip in while doing that, because you see how people in Wing Chun do that, right? Zhang throws that left hand almost like a martial artist. When you see how he's like, just shoots it like that. So it's hard to time a punch that it's really hard to see coming because of the way it's delivered. Like it's camouflaged in a way, because he throws it so straight and he throws it and he keeps his hands like out in front of his face, kind of far. And you just shoot. It's almost like Foreman. Foreman was slow, but he would throw 6-inch punches, right? Because if you're slow, what do you do to kind of compensate for the lack of speed? You abbreviate the movement a little bit. And that's what Zhang does to some degree with that left hand, and also the way he kind of bobs and weaves a little bit and gives you that little head movement sometimes, and you don't know when he's going to throw it. And also because he kind of steps around you a little bit and constantly changes the angle from where it's coming from. I know that's been mentioned as well too. So I think this guy is a very tricky fighter. And I think Joe Joyce found that out. And I think a lot of fighters will find out that how crafty and tricky this guy is. I think he'll be a tough out for a lot of guys, quite frankly.
Listen, how tall is he? He's a tall guy. What is he, like 6'8" or something like that? A 6'7"?
I think he's like 6'6". Yeah.
Tall dude, man.
He looks taller than that, though. He does look taller than that.
He does look taller than that. He's a big guy. He's got power. I mean, he may not have that. I mean, well, listen, man, that guy's over 200 pounds. He's a big guy punching down at the target. He's
like
got
280?
power. He could, yeah.
Was he like 280 or something like that?
Something like that, yeah. Or it was like 270 or something like that. Or Joe Joyce was 270 or something, but I don't remember.
No, Joe Joyce actually came in light this time. At
right, but what I'm saying is that's when he comes in. It's not uncommon for him to come in that heavy.
Oh, sure, yeah. That's correct, yeah. But another thing too is we've seen Joe Joyce get hit before, but this was the first time that I've actually seen him buckled, stagger backward. Right? I've never seen him hurt like this before.
No,
a lot of that is not being able to brace for the shots because he can't time him coming out because again, they're so hard to see because of the way they're delivered.
Yeah.
So that's just my impression of it.
And we talked about it. I talked a lot about this before the Dubois fight. That Joe Joyce was robotic. He's going to get smashed. He's too slow. He's too predictable. And Joyce walks right over that guy. That made that guy quit, by the way. After that, he just keeps running through people. And we can all see it. I mean, we can all see it. And when we can all see it, it's only a matter of time for a trainer sees it. And he's got the right guy at the right time to beat that guy. And that's what happened last night, man. Zhang is a good fighter, but Tone says Zhang must be from Ohio. Yeah, he is. Ohio native.
Zhang, you hear Bradley talking before the fight because Zhang lives in like Plainfield, New Jersey now.
Yeah,
he's like, but he trains from Patterson, the mean streets of Patterson, New Jersey. Like Bradley, cut the shit, Bradley. Stop trying to create these narratives and come on, man.
Aaron Daly said he's seen him hurt and stopped twice in the amateurs. I'm assuming he's talking about Joyce.
Okay, fair enough. I'm not used to seeing it. I'm if it's happened before, then that's news to me. I'm not denying it's happened. I've just never seen it.
Yeah, I've never seen it either. And I haven't seen him hurt like that. And that bone density does make a difference,
Yeah, but it can't stand up to the infinity gauntlet.
Listen, man, you can't stand up from big left hands after big left hand. You cannot take those shots.
How do you think Zhang does against the greatest heavyweight?
How
do you think Zhang does against the greatest heavyweight of all time?
I think he gets smashed.
Yeah, me too.
I think he gets smashed. I mean, I couldn't imagine Tyson Fury out there last night. He would have completely mauled him with that jab he's got.
TF would have took him to school, right? TF would have took him to school.
So what do we got here? So we got Usyk, we got Fury, and those are the top. That's the top. That's the cream of the crop right there. Next level down, we got Anthony Joshua. We have Deontay Wilder, and that's it.
What do you think about
then
this?
You have everybody else, and that includes Big Baby Anderson, that includes Zhang, that includes Joe Joyce, Daniel Dubois, any of the others, because they haven't proven it yet.
Yeah, I got you. So what do you think of this proposed tournament, though? Fury, Usyk in December and Wilder, Joshua in December. It's going to be in Saudi. They're talking about these fights potentially.
Listen, if the Saudis can put it together, I love it. I love it, right? I mean, what's not to like about it?
Have you ever seen this much money put in the sport of boxing?
No, and it's great.
It's great, isn't it?
Great.
So what are all these people that love to say the sky is falling? Is the sky falling in boxing?
No, this guy's never been falling in boxing.
No,
It hasn't. You know, you
not at
always
all.
hear idiots like Oscar De La Hoya come around in his career saying, I'm carrying boxing on my shoulders and all this other nonsense. Nobody's carrying it. Boxing does just fine. It's a niche sport. Listen, it's not as popular as MMA, not as popular as the NBA. It's a niche sport. We all get that.
But globally, it is the seventh most watched sport in the world. I did some research, right? Boxing is watched by 1 billion people a year, right? Soccer is watched by 3 million people a year. So
It's got to be over 3 billion. You're talking about 3 billion.
3 billion, 3 billion,
Yeah.
3 billion. I meant, did I say 3 million? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was like, wait.
I did a 7-hour stream earlier. I'm a little bit off, but I'm sorry. But
You're
yeah,
punching,
so
I get it.
boxing does 1 billion a year in viewership. Soccer does 3 billion, right? And then obviously when the Olympics and the World Cup go on, those things, and the Tour de France, which are I think those are all every 4 years. But essentially, boxing is like the second most popular sport in the world when those other events aren't being taken place. So globally, boxing is kicking the shit out of a lot of sports. There's 10,000 registered boxers in the world, as opposed to like 1,000 MMA fighters registered in the world. These numbers are astonishing. So that's why when you only have 1,000 fighters, and the UFC only has like 500 fighters under contract, right? That's when you look at PBC and you look at Eddie Hearn, and when you combine Top Rank, forget about it. And all these other guys, Boxer, Frank Warren, there's just too many fighters out there. So they're forced to have to fight each other. That's why they have all these rematches and stuff over there, because they just don't have the roster.
Right.
They just don't have the amount of fighters. So it's a different ballgame.
Yeah, I would, like I said, I don't have much hope that the Saudi thing is going to happen, but I wouldn't mind it happening. That's for sure.
Well, it's easy to be skeptical because how many times have we had our hopes up high? But
this
year,
and this is the first time Saudi has proposed something outrageous like a unification fight there, or just like this big thing going on over there, all for it to be nonsense, and it just falls through the wayside.
Well, they're also saying that this Bivol better be a fight when and if it happens is going to be in the Middle East as well, according to Bivol's manager, because they've already talked about it. And we don't even know if this Canelo fight's going to happen with Bivol, because Bivol is saying to himself, if I'm going to fight this guy, I want it to be at 168. It makes no sense for me to fight this guy at 175. What do I get out of it? If I'm going to fight this guy again, I want to get something out of it, right?
That makes total sense.
I get
total
it.
sense.
So,
and I think he would fight him at 68. I just think it's the same outcome over again. I really do. I don't think he beats Bivol. He just listen, man, you either got the style or you don't have the style. Everybody has foils to their style. That's his foil.
I got you. Fair enough.
Yeah, Beeps put in a work day today for all of you guys who don't know. His entire Sunday, what did you do? Like a 7-hour live stream, 8-hour
7-hour stream, man. I was able to get an hour of weightlifting in, and I did like a half-hour cardio. I got an hour and a half I got to finish my cardio after the show because that stream fucked up my whole schedule. Luckily, it's Patriots Day tomorrow, man. I get to sleep in a little bit, but I'm gonna have to do a late cardio session because of that stream.
What do you guys pay homage to Tom Brady over there? What's the matter?
I was dodging bullets, man. I had people coming at me, man, in that stream. It's all right though.
Guys, if you haven't seen it or you didn't watch it this morning, go back and check it out. You don't have to watch the whole 7 hours. I think you should, but if you don't, just drop in, man. Drop in, give him a like, give him a comment, man.
That's it.
Working hard, baby. He's working hard.
Oh, we do.
And he's working hard for you, for the people. He's a man of the people. Joe Habib. What was that little English voice? Remember that? I got that little English voice as, what is it? Beating the Odds with Beeb, starring Joe Habib.
I missed that. I have my Google Voice set to a woman with a British accent, man.
Oh, stop it! What's the matter?
It's adorable. I love that. I love British accents.
It's adorable. What do you?
It's adorable, man.
What's the matter with you? Stop it.
I love it.
Quit it. All right, on the undercard of that fight, it was Michaela Mayer, Lucy Wildheart. Mayer wins a 20-minute decision over Wildheart. That's pretty much all that we need to know here. It was 20 minutes, right, Beeb?
I wasn't. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
I wasn't crazy about that fight at all. I found it very
Yeah,
uneventful.
nobody's crazy about that fight. You know
I hate
why?
to
'Cause
say
it
this,
sucks.
Eric.
The two broads
I hate
fight.
to I hate
Right.
to say this, Eric, and
You
I'm
agree
probably
with me,
gonna
don't you?
I'm gonna
You
lose a
agree
lot
with
of
me, don't
fans,
you?
but there's only like maybe two female fighters that I really enjoy watching fight at this point. I enjoy watching Katie Taylor fight, and I actually do like Clarissa Shields, but Katie Taylor's is my favorite fighter to watch.
Yeah.
I really enjoy watching her fight. I'm I'm starting to kind of lose my interest a little bit in female boxing. I don't know,
Right.
just I don't know, man. It's
It's just
just
not there, man. It ain't there.
I'm not feeling it, man. I like the MMA female fighters a lot better than the
Yeah, I do
boxers.
too.
I'm just being honest. I know I'm going to catch a lot of shit for this. Probably going to lose some sponsors. Probably going to get some emails and phone calls. But I'm sorry. It's how I feel, man.
Who did I
Eric,
regularly say was the best fighter on the planet? Do you remember? My best fighter on the planet.
female wise,
Amanda
or
Nunes. Amanda Nunes
oh, Amanda Nunes.
was
Yeah,
the
you
one I
liked
always
her.
said was the best fighter.
Yeah,
You know, and
she
I
was
said
good.
that for a while. You
Yeah.
know, I don't think she's the best fighter now, but so it's not even a women thing. It's not even a women's fighting thing. It's just what you like. You know, some people like women's soccer,
Yeah.
some people don't. It just is.
You know what I like? My favorite women's sport to watch, honestly, is tennis. I love well, I like MMA. That's up there, but I like
Yeah.
tennis. I love watching female tennis.
I do like soccer, so I like watching the
Soccer's
like the
soccer.
USA women's play, the women's
Yeah.
team play and stuff like that, and
Yeah.
you know that's good. I like that.
I have a hard time watching the WNBA though. That game is I don't know, man.
Oh, do you know
That's
they've
just
never turned a profit in that league?
no, they don't. The
They
NBA
have
the NBA
never.
subsidizes them. I heard.
They have never turned a profit.
I feel bad for
in
those
that
girls
league.
because they probably train real hard, but it just I don't know. It's just not catching on.
Yeah. Who was it? Bill Burr had a bit where he was talking about women's sports, and he was talking about that one girl. I don't know if it was Wambach or who it was. She was on the soccer team, and she was up there with say LeBron and at some kind of ESPY award or something like that. She was
Yeah,
up
it's
there
crazy.
with LeBron and stuff. And she was like, I'm the only one who has to work a job after my season's over. Why is that?
I mean,
Because nobody's watching you, son.
sorry.
That's why. Look, man,
I'm
nobody's
sorry.
watching you.
I mean,
It's not like the ratings are through the roof for women's soccer. Son, let me tell you what, I got the NBA playoffs in the other room. Who do you think's getting more views? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? What are you talking about? What do you think that of course. Of course. Louis Reyes calling me a sexist again.
that's funny.
Kadali says women's soccer is awful. I disagree. I think women's soccer is better technical soccer than the men's. It just is.
That's
You
funny.
don't see people just trying to run people over in there. You see a lot more technique, a lot more holding on to the possessions, everything like that. It's a much, to me anyway, it's a much better game. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. And it's boxing. Why are we talking about soccer right now?
Yeah, I wanna stop watching soccer. I actually want to try and get into that game a little bit. I haven't really gotten into it. I want to try to watch it more.
Yeah, you got to go to a soccer game. Don't they have a Boston? Doesn't Boston have a
Yeah.
team, a soccer team?
Yeah, I think they call it the Boston Revolution.
The New England Revolution. That's
Oh,
it.
I'm sorry, the New England Revolution. That's correct. I apologize. Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
All right, so let's see here. In Ontario, California, Ernesto Mercado versus Hank Lundy. Ernesto Mercado KO'd Hank Lundy in the first round, man.
Oh.
And I love Hank Lundy, man. He's one of my favorites, man. But it's time he calls it a day.
We got to get him out of there, right?
That's not the Hank that anybody's used to. He's a durable guy and everything. Like when you get knocked out in the first round with a body shot, yeah, man, not good, not good. I would watch lingerie football. I would watch lingerie for Louis Reyes. I'd totally watch lingerie football.
What about foam wrestling? I went to a bachelor party once at the Foxy Lady when my friend was getting married. I was the best man. And I organized a trip. We had a bus. We went up to the Foxy Lady, and they had this foam wrestling, and we put him in the pit, and he was getting tossed around by these two girls, man. They were topless. This thing was always the best. I was so jealous of him, man. I wish I was getting married that day so I can get tossed around by those girls, man, in the foam pit. It was awesome.
Yeah, but now he can never get tossed around with those girls in the foam pit because he's married.
Because he's married, yeah.
See, you can still get tossed around.
No,
not so much.
Foxy Ladies in Connecticut, man. I got to go back. I haven't been there in years. I got to go back there, man.
What's the matter with
Lois, can I go? Thank you. Yeah, I got to go
It's a
back
hard
there.
no from Lois, boy.
They're so beautiful, the girls up there.
All right, let's see what we got here. Upcoming schedule here next week. Yeah, we got 2 fights. Yeah, we got 2 fights here. So first fight on Showtime pay-per-view, the big one. Gervonta Davis versus Ryan Garcia. 136-pound catch weight, 12 rounds. David Morrell versus Sean Agbeko. 12 rounds for Morrell's WBA regular super middleweight title. I hate these. If you're not champion, then you're not champion. Beck the Bully versus Gabe Rosado, 10 round super middleweights. Aside from the main event, this is the one I'm looking forward to the most. Because this is
Beck the Bully, the rematch.
Yeah.
It's not a horrible fight, but I worry about Gabe just hanging on.
Gabe knocked him out last time.
I know, but Gabe he's got so much miles. This will be interesting, man. You think Gabe wins again? You think Gabe's going to win again?
I don't know. I wonder if Gabe saw something in the first fight. They gave him that in. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's interesting.
And then Elijah Garcia versus Kevin Salgado Zambrano. Easy for me to say. 10 rounds middleweights. That's kind of a throwaway fight. Nobody cares about that one. Nobody really cares about the David Morrell fight either. I do like the Beck the Bully fight and the Gabe Rosado fight. And obviously I like the main event. It's not a bad card. I'd pay for it. I'm going to pay for it.
Yeah, I'm going to pay for it too.
Yeah. April 22nd on DAZN in Cardiff, Wales. Shavkatstan Rakimov versus Joe Cordina, 12 rounds for Rakimov's IBF junior lightweight title. And a bunch of people you probably haven't heard of. So that's about it. So yeah, I probably won't watch that fight. I'll watch the other one for sure. Yeah. So let's talk about. I tell you what. Before we go to the phones here, let's talk about this. This preview: Tank Davis and Ryan Garcia. This is a fight that we never expected that would happen, especially not this quick. I expected this to happen way past its sell-by date. Listen, man. The more I think about this, I don't know who wins. This is a toss-up kind of fight. You flip a coin and that's who's going to come out. I could see either guy winning this fight by KO. I could see either guy winning this fight by a decision. It's just they both have power. They're both quick. I think I know where I'm leaning here, but I just don't know. I mean, it's one of those things, man. So if we were to break this down, Joe, the video game breakdown, as you call it, speed, I would think Garcia has the edge there.
I agree. I thought you were going to go the other way.
No.
Okay.
Garcia's definitely faster. Yeah, okay, Garcia's definitely faster.
I got Garcia in the speed department as well.
Yeah, if I'm being honest, you have to pick Garcia in speed.
I will take.
He's got quicker hands. He's got quicker feet.
Okay, I would agree.
Better.
We're in agreement. Better. I thought you were going to go the other way, but that's okay. We're in agreement.
Power.
Okay.
This is also close.
Yeah, I would.
Now, I edge Tank.
I would edge Tank, but it's comparable.
It is comparable. But the one thing, you think about here is that we've seen Tank knock out good guys. Tank's got an overall better resume here than Ryan Garcia, no?
I would agree overall, but at lightweight, I think their resumes are comparable. Yeah. And I would like to go back. What I like to do with these types of analysis is I like to go back the last 5 fights each guy has fought. And when I do that, and I say that, in my opinion, and this is a very controversial take, I think Luke Campbell is better than any fighter that Tank has fought at lightweight, in my opinion, at lightweight. A lot of people at lightweight. Okay. Yeah. At lightweight. I think Luke Campbell's a better fighter than Pitbull Cruz. I think he's a better fighter than Rolly Romero.
You think he would have beat Isaac Cruz?
Yes.
Really?
I like Luke Campbell. I was always high. I thought if that fight with
a good fighter.
Jorge Linares, if that fight was in the UK, he would have got the decision, in my opinion. It was razor close. And again, that's a lot of people disagree with me. I just think that, And the way he dispatched Luke Campbell after being knocked down, he knocked him out in 5 rounds. Like, I was impressed with that after seeing Lomachenko go the distance with that guy.
Well, and we've never seen Tank have, I guess, face a lot of adversity.
Yeah.
Because even in that Cruz fight, you knew he wasn't, you know what I mean? You knew the fight was going to be a little bit closer than it should have been, but he was still winning that fight.
Yeah.
Ryan, we've seen an adversity. We've seen him in that Luke Campbell fight get dropped and then not know where he was. And then, you know, like, man, can they collect him and get him back out there?
He answered the question.
Yeah.
Right. So Tank's never had to answer that question.
Right. We know when it comes to adversity, he can get up. I'm assuming Tank can too, but I know Garcia can get up. Power, like I said, I would have to leave to Tank. You too?
I'll give it a Tank. Well? I'll give it a Tank, yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Let's see here. Boxing ability. I am going to give that to Garcia. I think just with the speed, with the quick hands, with the movement, I got to give him, I think he's got better boxing ability.
You know what?
And I think he throws his punches very well. If you watch him in practice, you see him, his favorite, you always see him in that Cobra bag because that's where he can show off his speed. And I mean, he throws shots. I mean, he's technically solid. I think he's very technically solid. Offensively, he's very technically solid, I think.
You know, I'm surprised you went this way too, because I'm actually going to go this way, and I'll explain why.
Yeah.
For me, boxing ability, one major component to boxing ability to me is, and I think we're kind of in line with this, is the more things you can do.
Yes.
Now, we know Garcia, we've seen Garcia fight on the outside. We've seen him effectively fight up close. We've seen him counterpunch. We've seen him do more things in there. Tank, for the most part, is primarily a counterpuncher. Is that fair to say?
I think so. I think so.
And primarily he's a mid-range guy. He's not really he can fight a little bit on the inside, but he's more or less a mid-range guy. He likes to have a little bit of space to throw those shots, right? When Garcia knocked out Campbell, that was a short inside left hook to the body. That was an up-close punch, and it was a very sneakily delivered punch. All right, so I think I would edge Ryan in the boxing ability category, but a lot of people disagree with us on that one.
And that's fine. That's definitely their opinion. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Boxing IQ. Now, this is of course different than boxing ability. I give to Tank.
I give this to Tank too because he's more crafty.
Grueling fights. Tank has been the distance. Tank's been in tougher fights, I believe. Yeah. I gotta give him the boxing IQ.
Yeah, because of how crafty Tank is, the way he sets traps, his timing, the way he rolls shots defensively. Yeah. He's tricky. So we'll give him that.
Yeah. Then of course we have the X factor. And the X factor for me is real easy. It's who's going to be able to take whose power, because you're both going to get hit in there. Who's going to be able to do the most damage? Who's going to be able to suck it up and come, and be able to stand in front and fire away when you're just not, your body just says no.
Okay. My X factor is kind of twofold. It's Ryan Garcia's size. We always hear a good big man beats a good little man.
Big guy.
Right? And Tank's got the experience, right? He's got a little bit of edge in the power. Okay. I think it's comparable. But Ryan's ability to use that jab and fight well on the outside. And I think because he's going to be I think he's going to be a lot bigger come fight night. And where I say this is twofold, is I honestly believe that Tank is kind of a little bit concerned with Ryan's size. Because why else would he put a rehydration clause in the contract? Why else would he demand that? Why else would he be saying, oh, well, this guy rehydrates to 180 pounds? I mean, why else would he be accusing this guy of taking steroids? I think he's a little bit concerned with the size. And because of the power and the quickness to go along with that size, I think it overly is concerning to Tank because of that. So I think the size is going to be the X factor here. And I think Ryan knows that he has the advantages and he's going to be able to use those advantages. I think he's going to fight a very comprehensive tactical fight. I think this is going to be somewhat of a chess match, more so than people expect. I think this fight goes the distance. And I think, well, I'm not, we'll go to the predictions. I don't want to jump the gun, but
I'll tell you what, if it goes the distance, I think that Ryan wins. I think that Ryan wins if it goes the distance. Yeah. All right, let's talk about the predictions here. I get it. If it goes the distance, I think Ryan wins. But I tell you what, and I've seen this in a few times, man. He got, and especially in that what was the guy's name? The English guy, Luke Campbell. Luke Campbell fight. He got caught early. And he was able to make it out, but Luke Campbell isn't Tank Davis. If Tank catches him early and does that kind of number on him, that fight's over. He ain't letting him out of there.
Fair enough to say that, yeah.
He ain't letting him out of there. I think that Tank, I got to lean with Tank just because he's the more proven fighter here. He's the more proven fighter. Now, of course, that being said, this is a guy coming in with a whole thing of luggage to this fight.
I forgot to add that in there too, yeah.
I mean, this guy most likely is going to go to jail after this fight. Most likely going to go to jail after this fight. That's got to be weighing. I don't care who you are. That's got to weigh on your head. Not to mention, what was he kicked out of Mayweather's gym during this whole thing for whatever reason? Because you know, I mean, whatever. But he's got a lot. I mean, I lean at it, but I'll be real curious when I watch that weigh-in, how he looks. You know, but you couple that in, like I said, the fact that he's probably going to jail. He's already been found guilty. The fact that you know, like I said, the jail thing, the Mayweather getting kicked out of Mayweather, he's had a lot of problems in this camp. That to me is a big red flag. And if he can, with all these problems, come out and murk Garcia like that, the sky is the limit for him, man.
Garcia is already on weight. He was already on weight 2 weeks out. They did the open work.
That's necessarily good, though. I don't know if that's necessarily good.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I see where you're going with that because there's nowhere to, you know, there's
could be overtrained.
Yeah, that's a fair point as well. But during the open workouts, Ryan looked shredded. Tank had a shirt on during the open weigh-ins. You know, maybe good. Open workouts, excuse me. So
what if Tank comes in overweight for this?
Well, here's the thing, man. There's only one fighter who missed weight, and that's Tank Davis.
Absolutely.
You know, and he missed weight at lightweight. And because of that, there was a lot of outside shit going on. And that was the reasoning. Well, once again, we're in the same scenario where there's a lot of outside shit going on right now.
Yeah.
And he may be eating some Twizzlers and shit. Maybe stress eating at night, knowing the inevitable.
Going to jail. You're going to jail, son.
Maybe eating some smart food popcorn, watching Netflix with the cheddar on the, you know. You never know, man. Maybe eating a Beeb favorite, little Lay's sour cream and onion while he's watching the basketball playoffs. You never know. You never know what's going on right now.
You know what? I think it is telling. I think that it could be bad for Ryan for being on weight this early because it could be a sign that he's overtrained. Who knows?
Okay.
But Tank with the open workout, that's the time. You know, you're taking your shirt off. You're open workout. People are coming to see you now. And yeah, man, I don't know, man. And he's got a lot of baggage. That's the it factor. He's like Teofimo Lopez, where like before he lost to, you know, all the baggage he brings, and he never looked good. It just depends on which guy, you know.
And here's the thing, Eric. He's lost a lot of rounds in his last couple of fights, and the power has bailed him out. What happens and Isaac Cruz, you know, fair enough, he got the decision there. but that was razor close. Some people thought it was a draw. I had him edging the fight 115 and 113, but that fight was razor close. Some people said it could have gone either way. It was that close, right? That was a close call.
Fight. It was a close fight.
That was a close call.
Yeah.
So if this fight goes the distance, which I think it will go, I'm actually picking Ryan Garcia by 12-round unanimous decision here. Or a 12-round decision, whether it's unanimous or not, will be that that remains to be seen. But I think he'll win a 12-round decision in this fight, in my opinion.
If Tank looks flabby, if Tank looks, not cut, you know what I mean? Like you said, Garcia's cut right now. It depends on how he looks to weigh in. If he doesn't look shredded at that weigh-in, that ain't good news, man.
Yeah.
For right now, I'm rolling with Tank. But again, we always make the bets on the weigh-in day. So, but I think that, like I said, man, Tank is the more proven fighter. He's beat better names.
You could flip this one. Right now, you're rolling with Tank. You could flip it the other way. It's possible, right?
It's a pick'em fight. To me, it's a pick'em fight. I don't know anybody who would just be that confident to lay money down on either one.
I know a guy. There's one guy. His name's Checkmate Boxing. He is riding hard for Tank. He's said he's betting all types of money on Tank to win.
He's betting all kinds of money.
Tank knockout in between rounds 1 and 6. He don't think this fight goes past 6.
Yeah, that's crazy to me, man. That's
yeah.
And listen, I could see it going that way. How's his record on betting on boxing? Pretty good.
Well, everyone's records.
Everyone's record. I got to tell you my record.
No one tells you their losses, right?
That's right. That's why you always hear people come back and say, "I won 5,000 at the casino this week." Yeah, you didn't hear about the other 6 months he was down on your luck,
Yeah, I got a free breakfast at the Bellagio today. How much did that cost you? Oh, about $3,000 in blackjack hands.
Yeah, right.
Fuck out of here.
Exactly. So there you go, man. I tell you what, let's get Robbie on the line here, see what he thinks of this fight here.
Robbie, you want to wish me a happy
530, you're live.
Guys.
You want to wish me a happy Patriots Day? It's Patriots Day tomorrow.
Patriots Day.
Yeah, it is Patriots Day and Marathon Day too.
You want to wish me a happy Patriots Day?
Is the marathon tomorrow?
I already did. Yeah, that's why every third Monday in April it's always Patriots Day and always Boston Marathon, Eric.
Boston Marathon, baby.
Did you ever run in the marathon, Beeb?
No, my knees are too bad, man. I could never do it.
Oh, I gotcha.
Yeah.
Wish I could though. Well, there was a time when I probably could have. I think I ran a flat marathon one time, but that was when I was in the military.
Yeah, I've ran a half marathon a few times, but I couldn't. To train alone for an entire 26-mile marathon, man, that's a lot. Yep. That's a lot of training, man. A lot of training.
Robbie, you think you could run a marathon?
Absolutely not. Not with my legs the way they are. CP kind of really messes you up, man.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
What can I say?
So who do you like here? Who do you like here?
I love Ryan Garcia. I think he wins, and remember, he's the West Coast fighter. Granted, Tank has fought in Las Vegas before, but I think this is a home ring advantage for Garcia. The crowd is going to be more on his side because there are going to be all kinds of people coming from Southern California. I think Ryan will win I don't know if it'll be unanimous, but I think he wins it a 12-round decision. I've liked Ryan from day one when this fight was announced. I think Ryan.
What happened?
Hang on one sec.
Too many distractions going. He's got a lot. He's got a lot outside the ring he has to worry about, and I don't think he's fully concentrated on this fight. I think this is advantage Garcia here.
Okay.
There you go. You think Tank comes in overweight?
No. I don't know if he comes in overweight. But I totally agree with Joe. I think Tank is worried about how big Ryan can get, and I think that's the only reason why he put in a rehydration clause. It'll be interesting to see what he looks like on Thursday when they have the weigh, or Friday when they have the weigh-in, because we'll find out how much he's able to train and what kind of shape he's actually in.
That's got to be a huge weight on his shoulders with the jail thing, with the court thing.
Yep. Well, I don't feel sorry for him, Eric. He did it to himself. You have
no
to pay
sympathy
for the consequences of your actions.
Man,
So,
you got no sympathy, son.
No, I don't.
That's just some guy, man. He's some regular dude, just some regular Mo out there crashing his car into some pregnant chick, and you say he got to get the chair?
Hey, no regular dude spends his time knocking around one female after another.
Oh,
Come on.
stop.
Whoa.
Oh, come on.
Whoa.
Family, Robert. What's the matter with you?
No,
Give the guy a fair trial.
Yeah, right?
No, I wouldn't give him a fair. I can't stand guys like him and Mayweather who think they can treat women like they're throwaway toys. Give me a break.
Robbie has
break. No,
Robbie's sticking up for the chicks today.
I like Ryan Garcia, and I like him big. Hell, I wish I could take that dude's money that's betting on Tank, because I would love to enrich my bank account, because there's no way this fight doesn't go the distance. The only way this fight doesn't go the distance is if one of them gets caught with a punch they can't see, kind of like what Marquez did to Pacquiao in the fourth fight. That's the only way this fight doesn't go the distance.
Does Garcia make this a boring fight? Does Garcia try to make this a boring fight?
He could, but I don't think it would be in his best interest, Eric, because this is his first time on pay-per-view. If you want to be on future pay-per-views, I think you have to put on a good show here. You don't want to come out and be too defensive and be worried about, Tank's power. I think you've got to show your skills if you want to be on future pay-per-views.
There you go. All right, Robert, we're going to get running. Go ahead.
My advice to Dimitri Bivol, go down to 168, take those titles, and book your ticket for Conestoga, New York. Because if you take that fight, you're going to win those titles, and you're going to book your ticket to the Hall of Fame.
Robbie, man, he's already making arrangements for the induction ceremony. Get him, Robbie. Get him, baby. I don't even feel like busting Robbie's balls today. He's actually on point with this call.
I know, which sucks, because we usually lay into it.
I got nothing. There's nothing I can criticize you on today.
I'll tell you what. I like that.
Bivol
goes down to 168. Do you think he beats Canelo at 168?
Absolutely.
I think he beats Canelo at whatever weight he puts on, man.
Look, if he's not allowed to fight,
said it without hesitation.
And I don't like the fact that he can't fight him. I wish boxing would get rid of that ridiculous rule. They don't live in Russia. They have nothing to do with what Russia does. They should be allowed to fight each other. If they're not allowed to fight each other, if I'm B-ball, I go down to 168 and I take those titles. And like I said, I booked my ticket for the Hall of Fame. And you know what? I stay in 168 and I clean out that division just like he's done with the light heavyweight division.
Okay. I would agree. I mean,
I do not agree that they should be allowed to fight one another. But for whatever reason, boxing is not going to allow two Russians to fight one another. And I think it's ridiculous.
Yeah, we'll see how that plays out, because that's going to be in the Middle East. We'll see if WBC softens their stance on that. It's a big fight.
It's a big fight.
If I think if enough money gets put on the table,
always rolls over.
Yeah, he does.
He always.
And you know what? I think Dimitri Bivol has a good shot in that fight if they're allowed to fight one another. I think he's the best light heavyweight currently fighting. Yeah.
And technically, both guys have residency in the United States. They both live in the United States.
They have nothing to do with what's going on.
Yeah, they have nothing to do with it.
Arthur Bedby, he lives in Montreal.
Canada. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. He lives in Canada, and Bivol lives in California. Thank you, Arthur, for the correction. I misspoke.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. So, I hope that they're allowed to fight one another. But if I'm B-ball and I can't get that fight, I fight Canelo in September and take those titles, and then it'll be interesting to see what he decides to do, because technically he would have 5 belts. He would have 1 in light heavyweight and 4 in super middleweight. Which one does he give up the 1 belt and defend all 4? Or does he give up all 4 belts and open up the 168 division again?
Yeah.
There you go. There you go. All right, Robbie, we're going to get running, man. Thanks for the call as always. We'll keep you on hold.
Okay, see ya.
443 Baltimore. You're live.
Hey, what's going on, fellas?
Hey, how's it going, man?
All right, brother.
Oh no, I know who this is. This is the guy that went crazy with Tank last time. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
We're crazy with Tank. How? What you mean?
Were you the guy that was when we got in that discussion about the whole Tank Davis court case? Were you the same guy? If not, I apologize. You sound like the same guy. Have you called into the show before?
Like, well, I mean, yeah, but not in a while. So, like,
Okay, I apologize. You sound like this other.
You
sound like this other
all over
guy.
the guy. You don't even know who it is.
I'm jumping to conclusions. I'll shut up for the rest of this.
Yeah.
Probably. I mean, B's probably. I don't know, but I mean, I wasn't. I mean, what was the discussion though, B? Like, I mean, was I agreeing with you?
We were having a discussion about the whole Tank Davis, the jail thing, about whether he hit his baby mama, whatever, the girl or whatever. I'm not sure. It may not have been you. It may not have been you.
You just piling on this guy for no reason, man.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, it's all good.
I'm sorry about that. On behalf of the King of Baltimore, I apologize for Beef's behavior. All right, and he will be reprimanded. Rest assured, he will be reprimanded after the show.
Just strike everything I said there. Just strike everything I said there.
It's too late for that, Beef. It's too late for that.
No, we got editors.
Go
ahead, sir. Sorry.
Nah, really. I mean, the thing is just so crazy is that how, people are just like talking about this weight thing with Garcia, how he's stupid to accept this. In this clause or whatever, we wouldn't have had a fight if it wasn't for Garcia, whatever. But and that's probably true. But the crazy thing about it is that, and it's not even just this fight; it's just in boxing that you get to wait what a day before the fight, and all you have to do is make that weight before the fight, and then after that you can rehydrate. Like, that's the most stupidest shit like I ever heard. Now I can understand if you come in, if they want you to fight, if you weigh in an hour fight or a couple hours, you know what I mean? But what's the point of weighing in at that weight and then later on rehydrating? Like, this is no point.
Yeah. I've never been a fan of those second day weigh-ins, to be perfectly honest with you. But
no, you want to change to a same day weigh-in, do that, but don't.
It's like you have 2 weigh-ins for one fight. It's
it doesn't make sense.
I've never been a fan of it, to be perfectly honest.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's just that's just wild. I mean, that's just like, everybody's concerned about Garcia making this weight and how he's killing himself and all that. Like, I mean, he can rehydrate. Like, I mean, well, that's what we got. We put that rehydration clause and everything. And like, I mean, it should have been just make the weight, have the same day weigh in, and then see what it is right then and there. Wouldn't have to worry about him rehydrating. You know what I mean? It's just like, don't make no sense.
Who wins the fight?
Sport needs
Beeb, to put that back on, couldn't he rehydrate with an IV? Isn't that what Floyd used to do?
Possible.
Rehydrate with an IV?
Yeah. Because I'm pretty sure that's what Floyd used to do.
I don't know, bro. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's just like,
that's what I had always heard.
It don't make no sense. Boxing is a lot of things that, boxing needs, with these laws, need to be fixed federally or something, because this is not, I don't see how boxing just get away with this shit.
So who do you like in the fight?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Who wins the fight?
I'm sorry, bro.
Who wins the fight?
When is the fight?
No, who wins? Who you think's gonna win the fight?
Oh, I got Tank. I don't got anybody. I got only person that I got Stevenson giving him a run, but still I got Tank. I still got Tank winning that. I mean, Stevenson is the only one that I got that can come close. But I mean, Stevenson will stay on the outside with him. He's not gonna get in a firefight with him. Like nobody's beating Tank at 135.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Nobody's beating him at 135.
Wow. I got
Nobody.
you. Okay.
You know what I mean? And like, I can't wait till Haney runs into one of the best at the division, so his hype train can end. Because I mean, he's a good fight, but he's not the special. I mean,
Yeah.
He had the easiest route to them belts, and he's just I just can't see Haney being remembered as an historical fighter. Like he's not. I like Stevenson. I like Tank is historical fighters like me remembered. I mean, special talents or whatever, but Haney's just all hype, man.
There it is. Thank you so much for the call, brother. We appreciate it, man. Don't be a stranger. Call back in. Give Bieber a hard time, man. 773. Chicago, I believe. You're live.
Chi-Town in the house, baby. Oh, not this guy, please. Why you sound like you're underwater, man? Did you pay the phone bill this month?
Yeah, you sound like you're underwater, my man.
You sound like you're underwater, man.
All right, let's talk about Bang Wang, Chicken Wang. I'm gonna tell you what. That fight against Hrgovic starting to make sense. The way he performed, the way Hrgovic, the dude kind of showed up out of nowhere. We thought it was going to be a walkover. And now we see he's no joke. I mean, for Joyce, they're talking about him. He's like the dark horse. He's next up. And he's probably like the people view him as like the third best. He's behind Fury and Usyk. So for him to go out there and get a win, I think I'm still high on Hrgovic after what Zhang Wang did to Joe Joyce this weekend. I want to see Hrgovic in there with a big fight next. They can't keep ducking him. It's time. What do you guys thought? What do you think Hrgovic
come up with it? Where does he come up with this? Jesus Christ. This is crazy.
What are you talking about? You ain't no Hrgovic fan? You don't like Hrgovic?
I mean, I don't have nothing against the guy, but
I don't think he's the next coming. I mean,
I don't think he's the next the next guy to watch out for in the heavyweight division, if I'm being honest.
But he called it too. We thought Joe Joyce was the third best guy.
They're writing him off. Exactly. They're ready to write that dude off. Yep. But after you see with his performance against Joe Joyce, you could see he didn't have a tough fight against those scrubs. This is a very tough opponent. So I think that's my point.
There you go. Look at that. All right, my friend, we're gonna get rolling.
I came in and dropped it like it's hot.
That's it. You did just that.
It like it's hot on your forehead. There's nothing you can do.
It's cold-blooded, man. Why you got to go there?
You could say.
Just a week after Easter, too. How dare you? All right, Beeb, let's talk about the news and rumors. Jake Paul, Beeb. There's been a Jake Paul sighting. Jake Paul versus Nate Diaz finalized. Beeb, are you excited for that?
Not really, man.
August 5th on DAZN. Yeah, I'm not really
crazy
that excited about it either. I'm not really that excited about it either. Who cares? You know, I mean, you've already lost the time. You proved that you can't really stand in there with like pro level guys. You know, you can prove that you can be in there, but you can't prove you beat them. You know, and Tommy Fury's not a whirlwind in that. You know what I mean? So, I'm not. I don't think I'll watch it. This depends on what's on the undercard, but I don't think I'd watch it. Will you watch?
I'm confused why he's not fighting Fury in the rematch. I thought that was going to be the next fight.
Well, you know why he's not fighting Fury in the rematch, because it wasn't, number one, it wasn't that great of a fight. Two, Fury's not that big of a name. I can't imagine that. I don't know. Nobody wants to see that. Let's talk about this. This was interesting, man. Teofimo Lopez no-showed the press conference with Josh Taylor to announce the fight this week. So Josh Taylor comes all the way over to the U.S., shows up. Teofimo lives here, can't even show up. What's going on with him?
I think it's more of those head issues, those psychological issues going on with him, man.
Listen, man, this is a big fight. This is a big fight. A lot of money going on. A lot of the more eyes you can draw to it, great. And you just don't show up. I mean, really, dude, this guy. I'm telling you, man, this guy should have switched trainers. He really should have. I think he made a big mistake after that fight to not switch trainers after that Kambosos fight, because you could see glimpses of it throughout his career where he goes in there and he's just the most dynamic guy you've ever seen. He's like Roy Jones 2.0. And then he goes in there again, and then you're just like, is this the same guy? Is there a body double here? I don't understand. He doesn't look the same guy, and he has not looked like the same guy since that loss to Kambosos.
I don't think he's looked good at all in his last fight. I mean, that was that fight against Sandor Martin, man. That wasn't a great performance at all, in my opinion. No, I had him winning. I had him winning, but it was close, man.
It wasn't great, put it that way. I mean, we've seen him fight guys and take him square out, and we've seen him fight. There's too many ifs attached to him now. There's too many ifs. I think that Josh Taylor takes that guy completely apart. I think he takes him apart. I really do.
And it's funny because the odds are very close.
Yeah, I don't get that either. That's another thing I don't get. Unless they're going with the fact that, like, listen, man, he got, what was it? Josh Taylor. A lot of people had the other guy winning.
Yeah, Catterall, you're talking about?
Catterall, they had him losing that fight.
I had Catterall.
I had him winning easy.
Yeah, I had Catterall winning that fight by a point. But again, I am not up in arms that Josh Taylor got that decision. I don't understand why the people were screaming bloody murder that Josh Taylor got that decision. That was a razor close fight, man. My opinion. I mean, Andre Ward agreed with you. He had it for Taylor pretty wide.
Yeah.
So,
and is he over that? Who knows?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's
a good question.
So, there you go. But that's a bad look, man. No showing that press conference. That's a bad look. Again, man, can you imagine? Again, you're Bob Arum and you're putting money out for this guy and you're putting money out for this big fight, and your guy doesn't show up.
Yeah.
The biggest fight, I would argue, the biggest fight of Teofimo's career to this point. Would you argue with that? This is the biggest fight for Teofimo Lopez by far. Dwarfs the Lomachenko fight. Completely dwarfs it.
Yeah. Yeah.
There you go.
I think so. This guy was former undisputed champion at 140. This is a bigger guy. It's a much bigger guy than Lomachenko. Like, Josh Taylor's like 5'10". He's a big dude, bro.
Yeah.
He's a strong dude. I think Josh Taylor is going to win this fight impressively.
I think he's going to stop him. I think he may stop him. I do.
Yeah.
There you go. All right, guys, that'll do it for this edition of Ringside Reporter. As always, you can catch Joe Habib on Twitter at JHabib1 and find our YouTube channel at ringsidereporterlive.com. You can find me on Twitter at Ringside73, and we will see you guys next week.